Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a topic that's a huge deal for some of the most talented people around the globe: how to actually build a winning case for a U.S. self-petitioned green card. You know, if you're an expert in your field, you already know your work is top tier. But the real question is your petition? All right, let's get into it. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? For so many brilliant professionals aiming for an EB-1A or an EB-2 national interest waiver green card, there's this massive gap between their incredible accomplishments and being able to prove them to U.S. immigration officials. It's not just about being extraordinary, it's about making an extraordinary case for yourself in a very specific way. You can think of it like a puzzle, because with these kinds of petitions, it's all on you. The entire burden of proof rests on your shoulders. You can't just be great at what you do. You have to construct an argument, piece by piece, that proves you are such a significant asset that your presence is vital to the United States. And honestly, that is an incredibly high bar. To really get what this looks like in practice, let's talk about someone who went through it. This is the story of S.R. Reddy. He's a senior scientist working in the super specialized world of embedded systems. His whole journey really shines a light on both the challenge and, more importantly, the solution. So S.R. Reddy's problem was a classic one. I mean, here's a guy with years and years of complex research, tons of publications, major achievements under his belt. But the real challenge? How do you translate all of that high-level technical expertise into a story, a compelling narrative that an immigration officer can easily understand and say yes to? So what did he do? Well, the solution wasn't just about making a list of his credentials. No. It was this really meticulous, collaborative effort to build a totally rock-solid application. We're talking precise documentation for every claim, digging up substantial proof, and doing the deep research needed to build that powerful, undeniable story. And this quote from S.R. Reddy himself just nails it. He said, "They even researched my work to find accomplishments I had forgotten about. This made my cover letter much stronger. I am grateful. Because of their help, I now have my EB-1A visa." I mean, think about that. Sometimes you're just too deep in your own work to see everything clearly, and having that expert partner can uncover game-changing details you completely forgot about. S.R. Reddy's whole experience perfectly illustrates what we call the storytelling gap, and it's the #1 reason why so many incredibly qualified, brilliant people struggle when they try to do this on their own. It's not an issue with their qualifications, it's an issue with the presentation. This slide breaks down that gap perfectly. See, on one side, you have your expertise, all the technical data, the dense academic papers, the complex skills. But on the other side, you have what USCIS needs to see: a clear, simple story, a direct line drawn between your work and their specific legal criteria, and a really strong argument for your impact on the nation. And those two things, they don't just automatically line up. And that leads to a few really common mistakes. First, people submit these generic petitions that are just a list of facts. They don't tell that crucial story. Second, they fail to explicitly connect their amazing evidence to the specific boxes USCIS needs them to check. And a big one, honestly, is just time. These are top professionals with demanding jobs. They just don't have the dozens of hours it takes to write a persuasive, multi-page petition from scratch. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the fix? Well, the good news is there's a proven, systematic way to bridge that storytelling gap. Let's walk through how you can turn a long list of achievements into a story that's ready for an approval stamp. It all starts with discovery. This is a deep dive into your entire career, your CV, your publications, your impact, to pull out the absolute best evidence that lines up with the criteria. Next up is drafting. This is where expert writers craft your story using persuasive techniques, making it compelling and, frankly, easy for an officer to approve. And finally, refinement. This is a back-and-forth process where you review everything and have the final say. You're always in complete control. But, the big question is always, does this actually work? The process sounds good, but let's talk about results. Because the proof isn't just in the process, it's in the approvals. And we're seeing them across a wild range of different fields. Let's start with a hard number. Since 2015, petitioners who've used these professional writing services have seen a 98% approval rate on their I-140 petitions. Just let that sink in. That is an incredible track record built over almost a decade of helping people just like you. And this isn't just for scientists and engineers. Not at all. Take Manasa N., an expert in Indian classical dance. She says, "When I consulted lawyers, they said I had a low chance of success. But after working together for 2 months to build a watertight case, her EB-1A petition was approved. It just goes to show you, it's about crafting the right story no matter what your field is. This quote from Ying Liang, a music teacher, really gets at something special. She says, "They didn't just write, they crafted my story with care. They were a partner in my journey." That word crafted is so important. The best petitions aren't just put together. They are carefully built with a real understanding of each person's unique journey. And I think this last one from Ajay Gupta in software engineering is so important because it's about being real. He points out they don't guarantee a green card, but they raise your chances. They work sincerely and know their job well. And that's the key. This isn't magic. It's about expert preparation that dramatically improves your odds of success. So, after hearing all this, you're probably wondering, okay, what about me? What's my petition's potential? Well, the good news is the first step is designed to be super simple, totally clear, and with absolutely no strings attached. A free profile review gives you a straight-up, honest evaluation of where you stand. It's a real analysis of your CV and your accomplishments. It helps you pinpoint which achievements are your strongest cards to play, and it gives you a clear picture of what a path forward could look like. It's a really smart first step to see if you're ready. So as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your professional life has a story. It's full of challenges, breakthroughs, and impact. When it comes time to present that story, what will your petition tell? Thanks so much for watching.